Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Foundations First series. And today we are getting into Command on the Go. This is all about utilizing Command on your cell phone with the app that we have built for our Keller Williams agents, Command Mobile or the Command app. I'm going to show you how to get it. If you don't have it on your phone right now, you can get it right in this class. It only takes a minute to download, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I just want to make the promise here today that if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're here in person with me today, I promise you're going to get to learn something about Command Mobile, something you didn't know it does. You might not know much about it, and you're going to learn a ton of stuff. But I guarantee today you're going to have some learning if you stick around to the end of the class. I guarantee there's going to be something that you learn about the systems because it's actually really, really powerful. There's a lot of stuff you can do inside of the mobile app that you would normally think you might only be able to do in front of the computer when you're on Command on your desktop or your laptop. But I'll tell you, there is a ton of stuff that we can do. And so let's get started. First, we have to take care of a little bit of housekeeping, of course. I'm going to mention the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. Please make sure any of the activities that you're doing through the mobile app or Command in general do comply with the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, better known as the TCPA. If you need any help understanding the TCPA, the do's and don'ts, we have a bunch of material in the Keller Williams world to help you find where you're at, what you should be doing. It is your responsibility, not the brokerage's responsibility, to follow this law. So make sure you're aware of what it says. That's all I will go into about the TCPA. Please reach out if you are concerned or need some resources and you can't find them on your own. Reach out to me, send me an email, steven.delisio@kw.com. I'm happy to forward those resources to you because I check them all the time to make sure I'm staying in compliance as well. And so get to know them. It's an important piece. Nobody likes a lawsuit. All right. So today, here's what we're going to get into. We're going to start off by just going over the dashboard. Once you actually get the app, you're going to be put right onto the dashboard, and there's a bunch of really valuable stuff right on the dashboard homepage of the app. And so we'll get into that. And then there are really four applets that are in Command that also exist inside of Command Mobile, because not everything that's in Command is in the mobile app platform. You can't do the designs like you do on the desktop or the browser version. You can't do that mobily. You can't build a smart plan mobily. You can't work on your website through the app mobily. So there are four apps we're going to get into, and I'll show you all the ins and outs of those because really there's some great stuff that'll help you run your business in the applets. And then last, we're going to go into some of the extra stuff. There's been a couple of newer additions to the app over the last couple of months, and we're going to go over some of what's new in there and just some of these extra tools that you might not have seen before because they're kind of hidden in a menu. And I'm just going to show you those as well, and then we'll wrap up with some Q&A, and we will be all done. And just a reminder for my agents that are on the call currently right now, this is recorded. It will be posted on the YouTube channel. So if you see something that maybe you want to go back to, it's going to be posted tomorrow morning. If you're on the call today, you're going to get it sent right to you in an email, so you can just click the link. Otherwise, if you're watching this on YouTube, you already found it. So let's get into it. Number one, you got to know where to get the Command app from. And you also should know there's two different applications that Keller Williams has built. One is the Keller Williams consumer app that you'll just see labeled as the KW app in the App Store. That's for our consumers. You should download it. You have a a unique link just for you so that when someone downloads that app, it's assigned to you. That's not the app we're talking about today. We're talking about the Command app, which the Command app is just for agents to use. And the sign-in you're going to use for the Command app is your Keller Cloud sign-up, which is the same one you use to get into your Command. It's the same one you use to get into My KW if you've ever been in there. It's kind of going away. So if you're newer, you might not have ever logged into My KW, and that's okay. But just know it's the same password you log into Command with to log into Command Mobile. And all you have to do is go into your App Store, Android or Apple, go to your App Store, type in Command. It's going to have a little red background KW. The KW might show up black or white, depending on your color settings, but you're going to see that red background on there. That's the important part because the consumer app has a white background. That's the easy way to differentiate the two apps. And then download the app, sign in to the app. If you have not done that already, do it right now. Do it right now on your phone, search for it, download the app, sign in. If you have the app, go ahead and just sign in to the app for me because we are going to pull it up and you're going to be able to follow along with me and see some of the different pieces inside if you'd like to. You don't have to follow along. You can just be absorbing today. That's perfectly fine as well. And so well, any questions about downloading the app? Anything there before we move on? Because this is a pretty important step. And feel free to unmute or use the chat for questions. All righty, so far so good, it sounds like. Perfect, let's jump in. So now, once you log into your app, you're gonna be placed on the dashboard. The dashboard is the home icon you see down at the bottom of the preview here that I'm highlighting. The home button gets you back to the same dashboard. And there are some important pieces on here. You can kind of see a lot of this stuff is self-explanatory. Recently active leads, most active leads, all of these, they are exactly what they say. But there is some other value in here. And so let's pull up my phone. I have my live phone on here with y'all, and hopefully we're not going to run into any technical issues. Give this a moment to load up, give y'all time to get in here. And now you see I'm inside of my Command mobile app. Make sure y'all are seeing what I'm seeing correctly. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing I want y'all to explore is the menu that's in your name. And it's easy to miss this because there's no button up here, but if you just click on your name, like I'm going to right now, you're going to see a menu open up. And there are three things in here you need to know about. Number one is your profile. When you click on your profile, you're able to view it, see all the information in it, and this is coming from Command. It's the same profile that's in Command labeled My Profile. You can also edit any of the information in here by clicking on the Edit button at the top right of your screen. That Edit button allows you to change your photo, any information in here about your brokerage, about you, your social media. Just remember that if you change anything in here, it will make changes across your command. So that means on your website, on your consumer app, this is a universal profile that you can edit right from your phone if you need to. And that's important because the next piece that I'm going to tell you about right below my profile is my business card. And I'm sure many of you have seen those applications or those cards that you can get where people can scan a QR code and then it sends them your contact information. And that's exactly what this does. You already have that built in. You click on my business card, you see a QR code appears where someone can scan that and it will automatically prompt them to add me as a contact in their phone with all the information from my profile that we just looked at. So this right here is a huge tool for connecting with other people so that they can get your information. You can also send your information directly to them by hitting the share button on the screen. When you hit share, your phone's native share menu will pop up. If you're on an iPhone, it will look like mine. If you're on an Android, it has a very similar feature that pops up and you can choose how you'd like to share it. Sending a quick text message is a great way to push your contact over, but also collect the information because you need their phone number to send them the message. And so this is a great way as well, because then I'm getting their phone number so I can save their contact information as well. And I'll show you how to do that inside of Command Mobile, because I'm going to ask you to make a little change in your process of saving contacts in a moment. So there's our contact card. This alone is huge for some agents. You have this already built in. The QR code is there for you to use. It doesn't change, so you can always use that picture to be able to share your contact information. So last thing in the menu, the last one here is share my KW app link. I mentioned this earlier at the beginning of class when I mentioned the other app that you have available in a unique link that is for you specifically. And when you click on share my app, if you're on a team, I have a team set up so you can see I have a couple more options where I can choose to send the team link, I can send my unique team link, or I can send my personal link instead of my team side link. If you are a solo agent in Keller Williams, you're not going to see that option at the top for the team. You won't even see this option because you only have a personal app link. So this is only for team members or team rainmakers that will see these options like you see on my screen. But I'm going to leave it as my personal link, just like you will if you're a solo agent, and hit continue. Where then I get that same share menu. And I think it's helpful to just click on message so you can see the message that pops up. And here, the important part is not this, hello, it's Steven. You can change this all you want. Make it say whatever you'd like. But this part down here, don't touch the link. You'll notice if you're following along, your link is different than mine, which it should be. If you don't see this little Q or this little numeric code at the end of your link, if you just see app.kw.com and nothing else, you need to reach out to me in an email and just say, hey, Steven, doesn't look like my app link is unique. Can you help me figure it out? It's very rare, but it does happen, and I'm happy to help you if that's what it looks like. But if you see that code, you are good. It should be different than mine. It's unique to you, but that just makes sure that when you send this to that person and they download the app, it's automatically assigning you as their agent. So when they sign in, they get connected into your command, and you'll get a notification about it when that happens inside of Command Mobile and in Command. And so just those three tools, just that single menu will be something that you use on a regular basis with the Command Mobile app, your profile, your business card, and sharing your app link directly from the app. Now, on this homepage, the other things I wanted to show you is my layout of tasks, who to contact, things to know, all of these different sections and my opportunities, you can change those. You can click on Manage Layout and move these around to your desired locations. If you want to see your opportunities at top, you can just click on the 6 dots and hold and drag that up to the top of the screen where you can move the opportunities up to the top. Once you hit save, you're going to save that and you'll see opportunities will shift. I can also, if I don't want to see something, I can click the eyeball off and you'll see that I won't see recently active anymore. But I'd like that on, and I'm actually going to click and hold on that one as well and move it back up to the top and hit save. And now you see my opportunities have moved to the top of the screen and tasks, who to contact are all below. And a couple of things down here, things to know, these are really handy. When you save birthdays into command, this birthdays will show you everyone who has a birthday saved that is coming up in the next 30 days. Same thing with anniversaries. What's coming up in the next 30 days? This can help you make phone calls or text messages right to that contact to wish them a happy birthday or a happy home anniversary. You're also going to have some profit share information down here as well. Not too detailed in here. There's a lot of places in KW you can get more information, but this will just give you your monthly amount that you earned in profit share. So a couple of cool different pieces. All of these contact ones, if I click on them, they'll jump right into those contacts. So if I click on recently active, you see it jumps right into my recently active contacts and shows me that list. And that's what all of those different buttons do on the dashboard is they just jump you into the contact. Tasks up here, if I click on my past due tasks, you'll see those will load up just that quickly and easily for me. And we're going to get into more detail in contacts and tasks in a moment. But I wanted to make sure that you can navigate through the home screen first. So opportunities, tasks, contacts, and things to know all are on your dashboard. You can move them around, place them where you want, and include the pieces you do or don't want on your dashboard. Last thing to go over is there's a little plus sign, and you're going to see this plus sign often, but it does different things on different screens. So just be aware that it's not always going to give you the same options every time you click this plus sign, but from the home screen, you're going to get the most options because when I click the plus sign, I can add a contact, I can add a task, or add an opportunity that easily. If I'm meeting somebody or if I need to remind myself to follow up with somebody, or maybe somebody just told me that, hey, they're ready to buy or sell and I need to add them to my opportunity pipeline. I can do all of that right from my phone, right in my pocket, easy as can be. All right. That is it for the first page on the command app. Now, we are going to get into the applets. And three of the applets that we're going to talk about live at the bottom of the screen that you see highlighted in red: contacts, tasks, and notifications. The opportunities applet you can enter in through clicking on the pipeline status on the screen here of cultivate, appointment, active, or under contract. Or I can get into there inside this little menu right down here that has the 3 bars. You'll hear me call that the hamburger menu because it kind of looks like a hamburger and I'm kind of hungry. And so we're going to go back to our demo and let's click that hamburger button. The hamburger button, you can see opportunities is right up there at the top for us to get into. But before we get into the details of opportunities, let's jump into the contacts applet. And the contacts applet is easy to find. It's right down here at the bottom. It looks like the same picture that's in command. It's a little contact. So when we click on there, I'm still in my recently actives. I'm going to jump over to my smart views and just notice across the top here, we have some different sections of our contact list. All our contacts, all our contacts includes leads and contacts. We can just look at contacts, just look at leads. We can look at our recently active, or if you have SmartPlans set up like I do, you can go into your my smart views set up like I do. you can see I can go into any of my smart views that I've created or the ones that Keller Williams has created for me, like upcoming birthdays or upcoming home anniversaries, which is the same thing as just clicking on those birthdays in the next 30 days, right? So multiple ways to get into the same information. And this page, y'all, has so much power in here. But let's break it down. First, let's just talk about the plus sign here. It's very obvious. If you're in contacts and you hit the plus sign, it's going to be to add a contact. So when I click on there, it opens up the add a contact screen, which should look familiar if you've ever added a contact inside of Command on your computer, because it is the same exact process. All of the options are the same in here. We have all of our tags, all of our sources, everything that you would have in normal Command will show up in here just like it does in Command. It will also check for duplicates. So if I try and add somebody in with the same phone number as a currently created contact, Command will tell me, hey, that's a duplicate. You already have this person, you already have a person saved with that phone number. We're not going to add another one. And so it'll even let you know that if you do attempt to add a duplicate on accident. But creating a contact, very simple, and we can do it right from the plus sign here. But the real power of this screen comes with this little three-dot menu. This is where you can get some efficiency from Command Mobile. Because when you click on the three dots, you'll see we have four options, and we'll start from the bottom and go to the top. Check for duplicates is a process that Command will go through and then identify anybody who might be a duplicate. And then actually reviewing those duplicates, you're going to do inside of Command, not on the mobile side of things. This is something to just start the process of. The larger your database is, the longer it's going to take for that duplicate check to run. So just give it some time, check your Command. You'll get a notification when it's finished. You can also add in a contact to Command through a QR code. So if you want to scan someone else's to add to your Command, you can just click on Add with QR code, scan that QR code, and then it will add that contact in as a contact. So very convenient. Now, import contacts, another huge convenience that Command Mobile can do. What it's doing when I click on import contacts is it's actually pulling in my contact list from my phone where I can select everyone or I can select certain people if I'd like to then be added into my Command Mobile. So I can move contacts from my phone right into Command through this process in either all or just one at a time. It's up to you. You don't have to do everyone at once. You can just do one person. You can do 20 people. It's all up to you. I just caution you because if your phone has messy contacts, messy meaning just a first name, a phone number, and the bar you met them at is their last name, that's just going to create a mess in Command because it does not do anything to the contact. It just makes a copy, puts it into Command. So if your phone is a mess and you're not saving emails and addresses and other things, you may think twice about throwing in all of your contacts at once because that could create a pretty big mess. So I just caution you, but you should know that it's an available feature inside of the platform. Okay, and now my favorite one in the menu is select multiple. Because what this allows me to do is a bulk action where I can select multiple contacts from my list. It could be all of them, where you can see at the top I have a select all and a clear selection. Or I can just selectively come down and select a few of the bunny family members and come in and select a few more. But once I've selected at least one person, you'll see down at the bottom a couple of options. First and foremost, you can add people to any smart plan that you have saved in your library. So if I click on Add Smart Plan, there's my Smart Plan library coming up for me where I have a lot of smart plans in here. So I have to use the search bar quite often if I'm looking for something like the neighborhood nurture. And there it is. So really easy. I can find my smart plans. I can search for them. Super simple to get people on a plan. Same thing with tags. I can add tags and all my tags are in there. If I need to make a new tag, you can see that option is available mobily as well. Super easy there. And then last, you can see there's actually more options. We can click on the three dots here and get even more options where we can add an activity to all these people, add a note. If you're on a team, you will see the change account option as well, which can be very convenient for my team members whose team is using the team side of Command, where you'll add a contact to your personal side so that you maintain ownership, and then you change the account to the team side so that you can work it into the team's process and do all the stuff that the team has asked you to do. So great way to manage your contacts, be able to add people to smart plans on the go. The select multiple menu is super, super powerful for doing bulk actions. And just seeing on here, you can see that there's some phone icons and some email icons and a text icon. These are all just quick actions where if I want to call John Arbuckle, I just click the phone and then it asks me, do I want to use my personal device or do I want to use WhatsApp to make the phone call? You may not see WhatsApp if you have not connected it. If you have, you'll see it. If you haven't, you won't. Easy as that. You don't have to use WhatsApp. It's just an option to connect into Command if you'd like. All right. I think we have some questions maybe in the chat. Your select multiple is grayed out. Interesting. Is there a smart plan guide on how to create a smart plan? Yes, there sure is. Nalia, I would definitely recommend checking out the YouTube page. There are a couple of different smart plan classes that go deep into smart plans. And the one I'd recommend mainly is there's one in this series of Foundation First. Look for, I think it's called Master, Smart Plan Master or something like that. Go check it out. If you can't find it, send me an email and I'll kick you the link myself. Uh, Diane, I'm not sure why it's grayed out. We can definitely look into that one-on-one though and see what's going on in there. All right, got some questions answered. Great. Keep the questions coming, y'all. I love to see them in the chat. All right. So in here, we've reviewed kind of the full contact screen. The last thing to just talk about is filters. Just like on your inside of Command, you can filter contacts, sort contacts. You have some options in here as well to do so. If you want to filter a tag or something, you're able to do so in all contacts and these other options. And so contacts, very usable, but we need to get into a contact as well because there's valuable information inside of each contact. So let's go into John Arbuckle. And in here, I can see all of the contact details. I still get my options for call, text. Email is grayed out for this contact because you can see here that they unsubscribed from all my emails. Womp womp. And so I can't email them. Well, Command won't let me. After it tells me that they've unsubscribed, won't even let me send the email to them, but I can text them. You can see when I click on text, I get those same options where I can use Twilio, I can use my personal device or WhatsApp in this case, because it's text message. So I can also use my Twilio account. And that is an additional charge. It doesn't come in automatically, but it's really helpful because I can send bulk text messages through Twilio and it's very inexpensive. Starts at $3, like $3.20 a month to get a plan started, get a phone number for yourself and be able to use your Twilio account where all the responses go in and out of Command, but I usually am responding to them in Command Mobile through these text messages where I can click on Twilio, and this one, the phone number doesn't work either, so it's they've unsubscribed as well as a fake contact. But I can see all the information about the contact in here. I can make changes by clicking on the three dots and edit. I can change the account of this single person. But here's another cool feature. I can move somebody from Command Mobile into my phone as well. Because before I showed you how to move somebody from your phone into Command Mobile, but we can also save somebody to Command Mobile and then move them into our phone. And that's the switch that I would ask you to make is when you're meeting people in the real world and you're saving somebody in, get into the habit of saving them in Command first and then use the save contact to phone option to add them to your phone's database so that when they call, it shows up with their name. But start adding them to Command first and then just move them over to your phone after that. You'll have more complete contact information in your phone, and then your databases will match your phone and Command. There are ways to make this happen automatically. That is not what this class is about. They do cost money to make that happen automatically. If that's something you want to look into, schedule a one-on-one with me and we can talk in more detail. And then finally, we can share our KW app link directly to this person, where when I click share the KW app link, it asks me what link I want to share again. And then I get those same options through Twilio, through this device, through WhatsApp to send them a text message with my information for the app. And then if I need to get rid of this person, I can archive people as well. And that will get them out of the way, out of the database. And we're able to do that all on Command Mobile. We have some of the same different tabs that we do inside of Command. Details are helpful. Timeline can be really helpful as well. Just note that when you look at your timeline on mobile, it defaults to the last 7 days. So if you haven't contacted them more recently, you may need to just switch that to all so that you can see all of the timeline activities if you need to look at what was our last conversation or did they get my invitation email to the event. Check your timeline. If you sent that stuff through Command, it's going to be tracked in here. If they have an opportunity, it'll show up in here as well. If I go to smart plans, if they're on a smart plan, it will show up here where I can remove them, add them to more plans. Of course, if I hit the plus sign, it adds them to a smart plan there. If I go into notes and we look at any notes that have been taken, we can hit the plus sign and add a new note. And then finally, we have tasks. If I want to set a task for this contact, I can see what tasks are coming up in the future or past due in here. And then, of course, I can hit the plus sign and create a new task for this contact. And that is about it in contacts. Lots of valuable data, really good to use if you're calling people on the go or making your DTD2 calls or something like that. Through here is a great way to go, because you'll see that some of the tracking is really great. If I tried to call John here and then I say I'm going to use my device, you'll see it'll just pop up with the call button so I can hit call. And then when you go back into command, I'm just going to hit cancel, but let's pretend I made the call. You'll see it prompts me to add the activity so that I can hit add activity and then call. We talked, and then I can describe what we talked about and then hit save. And that then tracks that phone call right into command so that it stays in there. It gets added to their timeline. You'll see we talked about what we talked about right here. And easy way to still maintain your tracking while running your business mobily. So great features. I love the Contacts app. Let's pause for a moment. Are there any questions about contacts, what they do, what they can't do, what you might use this for, use cases? I'm an open book right now. Throw out some questions if you have them. All righty. Must be clear as mud. Let's get into tasks. Tasks are the center icon on your list here. You'll see it right in the center. It looks like a little check mark and the task list. And in here, when I go into tasks, it's going to default to all at the top. And take a look at our options: all, call, and text. So I can look at all my tasks, my call tasks, or my text message tasks that I've set in the past. And in here, you can see I have a couple of past due tasks that I need to get onto. If I want to check a task off, I can just click on the little small check mark there, and that will complete the task just like that. Or I can click on the three dots and complete the task. I can edit a task, view the contact it's for. If it's associated with an opportunity, I can view that as well, or I can archive the task right from this screen as well. Now, this task, if I need a little bit more detail, I can click into the task and then scroll through, and I can see a little bit more information. I can see the due date, where it came from. Was it a smart plan that fired this tech or this task off? Was it a task I made? Did it come from an opportunity checklist? I can just get a little bit more detail about that task if I need it, and then I can choose what to do. I can complete it, edit, view, archive, any of those options. Noting that when we say edit here, edit is the most of the time when you edit something, it's you going to change the due date because you can't get it done on the day that it's supposed to happen. So you change the due date to the future, and you can do all that right there mobily. So let's exit out of there and get back to our main menu, because you can see we have a select multiple option up here as well. So we can do some bulk actions to our tasks, which is really nice. So we can hit select multiple. Then as soon as I select at least one, we can get the reschedule option at the bottom, which this is where I use it most. My day blows up. I didn't get to all these tasks. They're past due. Let me move these. So I'm just going to reschedule. Well, let's just hit select all, and we're going to hit reschedule. And we have some smart due dates set up. So it's saying, hey, you'll lose those. I'm okay with that for this example, because I just want to show you how easy it is to schedule multiple tasks, change the day to a day that I can get to them. Oh, sorry, my computer's struggling a little bit with this. There we go. And then we hit confirm and save. And now all of those tasks are going to move out of the past due column and into my due today, or due in the future, because I set it a little bit ahead of it. And so there you see all those due in the next 7 days on here that I just changed. And then we have a couple due today as well: example task and example task call. Note that when we came in here, there were some filters on. You may need to turn those off depending on your situation. And so tasks, very simple to use, easy to use. If it is a call task or a text task, you don't even have to jump into it. You can just click the word text, and you see we get that text option. We can click the word call, and that same call option shows up just like we just saw. So you don't even have to click in and then click the contact and then click call. You don't have to go through all that. You can just hit the call button right here and boom, it is set up. And so you do need to be sure to set your task up correctly for these to show up. And let's hit the plus sign because guess what the plus sign is going to do in the task menu? You got it right, y'all. It's going to create a new task. And in here, we can create a task, say something like follow up about buying. And then our task type, this is where we set if it's a call, text, or other. And here we're going to make it a call. And then I can add a description. And if I'd like to, you can see I have not linked the contact. So let me just link a contact real quick and we'll find little Stevie D in here. And come on, Stevie. There he is. And we'll make him contact attached to the task. I can put in a description, hyperlink if I need it. I love to set my priorities. Follow-ups are always high for me. And then I can set my due date. And we're going to make this due date for September 21st in 1 month. We're going to make a phone call to them, remind myself to call them in a month, and then I'll hit save. And hitting save will add that to my task list. You'll see that this one's not due for a while, so it's not showing up here in this list yet because this is only showing me next 7 days, due today and past due. And that is tasks inside of Command Mobile. Very simple and effective application for you to use in your business. All right, let's check. Good, good. And now let's go to the last icon here at the bottom of the screen, the notification menu. This is where I probably in Command Mobile the most, y'all, is getting notifications that are coming in, whether those are text messages, like you see kind of at the bottom here. Here's how a Twilio message comes in. I can view the details of that message. I can click the 3 dots, mark as read. I can add a task right from here. I can also jump into my notification preferences to turn off a certain type of task if you don't want to receive, say you don't want to receive the in the news stuff that you might have been noticing coming into your command. This is a new thing they're doing, sending in news notifications. You can come in and change that or mark as read, simple as that. Marking something as read does not go away. You'll notice at the top, you have the unread column and the read column. So if I want to see something I marked unread, or excuse me, marked as read, there it is right in the different steps that I've marked as unread. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Or read. All right, come on, Command Mobile. There we go. So notifications, very simple. It is useful. This is how I know text messages are coming in or not coming in, answering them back if I'm getting a message or whatever it is. I can just look right in here and see what's going on in my world and what I'm being notified about. You can even filter notifications. So maybe I don't want to see everything. I just want to see what's gone on my website. So I go to consumer and I see, oh, I have one notification that says that someone logged in to my app or my website. And I can view the contact by clicking view contact. And then there you'll see my contact that's logged in. It shows me that the agent connection was made, which means they've signed into my website. That's what that green check mark means. And it just goes right into the contact so I can do whatever I need to do. Email them is all I can do for this contact because that's the only contact piece I have. No phone number in here, which is why call and text are grayed out. And email is available where I can click on email and you see it just jumps me into a new email in my email server. It does not send it through command when I click on email there. It just jumps into my phone's preferred email client, whatever you have set as your default. I think I lost y'all. Did I disappear for a minute? I did. Great. Well, Zoom didn't let me know that. It looks like the recording is still live, so we'll see how that looks in the recording. How long was I out? Minute, 2 minutes, 10 seconds? All right. Well, Not sure where I left, or well, I know where I left off. Not sure where you were left off at. We were just reviewing emails. Sending an email through Command Mobile, clicking on this email button does not send an email through Command. Okay, so I was only gone for 5 seconds. That was just a quick drop. Sorry about that, y'all. Looks like my internet probably kicked out for a minute. But in the email, the last thing I was saying is when I click on the email, let's see. There we go. It pops me right into my email client. And when I go back to Command Mobile, I can add the activity because it's not going to be tracked when I send it in my Gmail account if I don't come in here and hit add activity and finish filling out this activity to track that email that I just sent outside of Command. All right. Notifications we got into. Let's jump back over here to our slide deck. And last thing that we need to jump into before we get into the extras is going into opportunities, which, like I mentioned, the easiest way to get there is just to click on the hamburger menu down at the bottom right side of your screen and come up to opportunities. Opportunities is your business pipeline inside of Command, where you can see your business pipeline. Who are you cultivating for buyers? Who have you set appointments with? Who are active, under contract, or closed for this month? Listings, same thing down here. If you are working with leases, you can see there's a section for leases as well. And then if I want to review, here are my clients that I'm cultivating to try and get to a buyer appointment. I can click on those and I see there's SpongeBob, there's the Ranch family. I can get into those different opportunities that I've created in the past to tell that just says, hey, this person is interested in buying. I can come in here and do my follow-up. I can set tasks just like you saw on any other contact. We can do all the same things on an opportunity. Tasks to be done or to be added. We have notes that we can add in for the opportunity. These aren't contact notes. These are opportunity notes. Opportunity as in like the deals notes. So I'm going to put stuff in here that deals with the transaction, not the person, because I don't want all the transaction stuff to clog up my timeline on the contact card. So I can put notes about the transaction in here. Like when you pull comps for a potential seller, or if a buyer tells you that they're interested in certain areas, you can put that in these notes so that they stay a little bit separated from the contact notes that should be about the person, not their transaction. That is only temporary. And so being able to review your pipeline, add tasks, call, text, email, it is that quick and easy, y'all, to be able to follow up. You have 10 minutes before a showing, pop open your opportunities section of Command Mobile, come in here and make a couple of follow-up calls. You might have tasks set if you're systematically built like that. If you don't, you might just pull it up and say, who have I not talked to in a while? Who do I need to check in with? And then you find that person, click the three dots, and you can view the contact. If you have more complete contact information, you can see it has call, text, email in there. I can view the contact, edit the opportunity, archive the opportunity. It is just a great way to be able to manage your pipeline on the go, because you can move people between sections by clicking on the six dots, and I can move them up to hot if I wanted to. I can also move SpongeBob or the Ranch family, we'll move them first, up to appointment by clicking and dragging there, and then they get moved into the appointment section that easily. So I can control my pipeline, I can view my pipeline, I can edit it. I can't go in and put all my documents in. So this is not for your TC to use mobily and add documents into the compliance section. There's no compliance in Command Mobile. There is an under contract section where it will be for compliance, but all of the document loading and all of that stuff that your TC or you do, that has to happen on the on the desktop. Can't do that stuff on mobily. This is for you, the agent, to be able to connect with people in your pipeline, move your pipeline around if necessary, set tasks for future follow-ups. That's what you're doing inside here in opportunities, is more managing your pipeline than actually doing your compliance within the pipeline. Though it happens in the same place, no compliance inside of Command Mobile. All right. And then, of course, last thing, plus sign. What do you think it all does in the opportunities section when we click the plus sign? It's to create a new opportunity. It's that simple, so that you can add somebody to your pipeline as well, where you see you have options like buyer, seller, landlord, tenant. We have the contact name, which once you start searching for a person, it will then just pull them up for you. We'll pull in Steven here. And co-buyer, if you have a co-buyer on there, you can see it's the same thing. You can add them in. Opportunity name it what makes sense to you. For buyers, I like the name, and that's it. I usually just take the word buyer out. They're in my buyer pipeline. I don't need the word buyer in there. Sellers, I do name and address for me. And then you're going to choose where they are in the pipeline, saving some additional information that might be necessary, any tags, description, financial information that you can put in. Note, you do need to put in a commission rate. It does not matter what the rate is, you do need a number in there, and it does not affect the actual commission that you will be taking on the deal. This is just preliminary for some calculations. So you don't need to know your commission. You're not going to put in a number there that is going to affect anything either. It's just for a preliminary calculation. This section here, y'all, though, this is the section that you will use mobily that I suggest. And there are 3 dates that you want to be adding in to your contact, or excuse me, to your opportunities when they happen. Number 1 is appointment scheduled. When you set the appointment, change this to the day that you set your appointment. Appointment date. Once you hold the appointment, changes to the day that you held the appointment. And then finally, agreement 1 changes to the day they sign your agency agreement. That's the agreement this is talking about. And I mention all of these 3 specifically because these are what are tracking into your goals. If you set your goals up in Command and it tells you how many appointments you need to set this year, how many appointments you need to hold this year, how many agencies you need to sign, this is how it tracks it. It tracks you setting an appointment by putting a date in there. It tracks that you held an appointment by putting a date in here. So know how to use this, and it's just coming in. I can do it on a current or a new opportunity like you're seeing here. I can also come in and click on edit on an opportunity where you're going to see when I scroll down, that same key date section shows up with even more options for home inspection, appraisal date. And these can be really helpful. I would reference you over to the Pipeline to Profit class, which is a little longer class, but it goes deep into opportunities. It goes deep into the pipeline of what you can do, how you can use it. And Command Mobile is just an additional piece to help you be able to do it on the go and not always have to have your pipeline be in front of you on a computer so that you can see that whenever you need to. All right. Good, good, good. All right. So last bit is the extras. We have some time. I'm glad that we had some time today to get into these because there are some really cool features, and they just put in this map feature that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about Quick, which is our AI system built for KW, built by KW. There's an event section, and then there is a tour that you can turn on, and it will walk you through all the stuff that I just went through. So if you need to see this again, make sure you're paying attention to the tours because it'll walk you along on your screen of all of the features that I've told you about already today and just refresh you a little bit live on your screen so you can follow along with the tour. And it makes it really easy as a refresher if this might be your first time or maybe the second, third time that you've ever gone into Command Mobile. Well, maybe use the tour a little bit to refresh your memory before you get in there and really start depending on it. And so let's take a look at some of these extras. And they all live down here in the hamburger menu. So first we click on the hamburger menu and we'll go into the map. Now the map is going to show us 2 different things. We have listings and we have neighborhoods that we can show. Let's start with listings. This is just listings in the MLS. That when you come in here, you can see listings. And this is nice for you because you don't have to have an MLS subscription to PPMLS or to the Pueblo MLS or one of those because it's all connected in here. So if you need to see those different MLSs and you don't have a connection, you don't pay for a subscription to the PPMLS or something, well, you can still come in here and get some information. For instance, I'm trying to find an open house, y'all, because there's a cool open house feature I want to make sure to show y'all. And as long as the agent put in their open house information, then it should show up in here. That one is so stuck behind all those others. Let's see if we can zoom in and find that open house. Boy, busy little building over here, huh, y'all? There's the open house. Let's click on that listing and click in because I want to show you why you would. Because this is not for clients. This is for us, right? You see, first thing, agent is listed. I can call, text, or email the agent right from here, right? Super, super handy and cool. If I need to get a hold of an agent, I can find the app or find the listing right in the app, and then I can make the phone call if I need to. You'll see some other property description information just like you would. It's a lot of stuff, but it's not the full MLS printout for the agent view, but you do see listing history in here and some stuff that you don't see that clients don't see when they look this up on the KW website or your website. And the last thing I wanted to show you, oh, is it not pulling in? Ah, here it is. upcoming open houses. So if they've put an open house in, looks like there's one happening right now at this house, I can come over here and click this little calendar button and hit add to my calendar. Or I can hit share calendar event if I wanted to share an open house with somebody. And then again, just pulls up my native share menu where I can text message this little property where you can see at the bottom it says, "Hi, this is Steven. Here's the upcoming open house." I can change any of this information if I need to, and then it's going to toss that link in as well to go right to the open house or right to the listing page so that the agent, or excuse me, the consumer can see the open house. And so really cool feature in here. You can see the three dots. I can even click get directions and it's going to pull up my phone's map and direct me right to that place. Like that's super cool too. I love this feature. I can just share this property with the contact instead of the open house. I can just share the property or I can copy the link to the property so I can paste it somewhere else and use it somewhere else in my phone or just manually text message them through there. But if I do hit share to a contact and select the contact that I want, so let's, oh, that's not how you spell my name, you guys. Let's see, where's old Steven? There he is. So I'll select that contact, send using this device, and then it pops up and sends this over. Oh, that one only had an email saved in there. And so it prompted me to send the email instead. But I'm always just going to check, make sure my app link looks good at the bottom. And then, yep, we have, and just note for now, these do send them to the KW website instead of my personal website. A quick little trick hack here is all you have to do is add in your subdomain that you have. Mine is Godelicio. So my website's godelicio.kw.com. If I would have just sent them the link, it would have sent them to the generic KW site. Since I put in my subdomain right there, now it's going to send them my KW site. So just a little hack. I do expect in the future, this is a pretty new feature. I expect this to happen automatically. But if you want it to make sure that it goes to your site, you can just drop your subdomain in. The rest of the information doesn't need to change. And then you can have it go straight to your site. So I wanted to mention that before we got done today too. So let's delete that draft and let's get out of here. And so we're back in here. The other way that we can utilize this outside of listings is we can turn those off and turn on neighborhoods. We have a full neighborhood system pulled in from neighborhoods, excuse me, nextdoor.com is what pulls in all of our neighborhood boundaries and names. And so you might be surprised by some of the names that show up because nextdoor.com, those neighborhoods are named by the residents. So sometimes they call their neighborhood not what we expect. And you might have to look through here for it, where I can come in and I can look at this. I can select multiple neighborhoods. Once I have one selected, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen where it says share one neighborhood, where I can share the neighborhood. And notice this one already has my subdomain in there. So it does share the neighborhood to my actual agent site. And the neighborhood pages are really cool. I think they do a great job just breaking down the neighborhood stats, what's for sale, what's going on in there. And so we can see a little bit of it and view details. You see, it just shoots me out to my website when I do that. And y'all will be able to see what a neighborhood page looks like. They are really cool. Their neighborhood pages can be great content for your social media, for emails, for stories on social media. These can be a great tool to see who wants to engage with, say, the market in Capitol Hill, Northwest. And they get a little bit of pricing information, some market snapshots, and then currently listed properties. It's a great way to engage people into a certain neighborhood or just to put content up and say, hey, here's what's going on in Capitol Hill North. And then next day, choose another neighborhood. Next day, do another one. At some point, somebody's going to say, hey, I'm interested in living there. Can you send me that? And so neighborhoods can be a great option as well. You can see you have the same share details. You can also add a neighborhood to a specific contact, which is helpful in the neighborhood nurture smart plan that we have available for all of you. One of my favorite smart plans, by the way. And so being able to add a neighborhood to somebody can be really great. If you're sitting at the bar or talking to somebody, playing golf with them or something, and you're like, oh, I really want to move to Bomar. Oh, great. Well, let's take a look at Bomar and see what's going on in there. And then I can add them as a contact. I can add the neighborhood to them as a contact, and then I can put them on the nurture plan so that they can continually receive that information about that specific neighborhood on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. We have both frequency options. And so really cool. If you don't know too much about smart plans and the neighborhood nurture, go watch the Mastering Smart Plans class. We talk all about it. We talk about my 5 favorite smart plans in there, how to use them, how to create your own, how to get ones from the library. Great class to check out if smart plans are a word that you're like, I know that word, I don't know what it means. great. Go check out the Mastering Smart Plans class in the Foundation First series. Gonna be great for you. Okay, next, we have the events in here. So when Keller Williams holds national events, like the last one earlier this month in Mega Camp, you can see that they build all of the session information, the speakers, the exhibitions, all of the information for the event can be found right in here. If you do go attend the event, your QR code that you scan will be inside here. You can see all the sessions. You can go as you save different sessions, you can come in and bookmark them, and then they get added to my agenda so that you can kind of control your event schedule for yourself and build your event schedule. And so super cool. I love that they integrated this because I did all this by hand before, and now I can just do it right in the app and pull my app up when I'm ready to go to my next class at the event. So not something you use daily, but definitely valuable when family reunion rolls around, when mega camp rolls around, when the spring and fall masterminds happen. You'll find that information here in the app. And then let's take a look at Quick. Quick, KWIQ, whatever you want to call it, it is our AI system that is trained on things like the Shift book. It's trained on things like the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's trained on some of the playbooks that we have available for y'all. And so you can ask it questions. And let's just use one of the prompts. How about what are the steps to hosting the best open house? Let's see what it says. So we click on that prompt. You can just type your own in if you don't want to use a prompt. You can ask it a question yourself. But you can come in and it's a little slow right now, but Quick is really great. It's going to break down an open house on how we teach agents how to run an open house, and it can get general. You can ask it to go into more detail. You can ask it for scripts. You can ask it for dialogues. You can ask it for ideas on what to post on social media. It's an awesome tool that has the difference between like a ChatGPT and Quick is ChatGPT doesn't know all of the private Keller Williams information that they've loaded in. They can get this out there, but they can't get the Ignite class and some of the other things that are built into Quick so that it knows how to respond to you when you ask questions about strategy, about process, systems, models, tools. It's built to help you with this. Quick is a great tool when you need quick information about real estate. If you want to take a look at something or have a plan or how do I respond to this message from a seller? All of that you can do in Quick right inside of Command Mobile. And then finally, we'll wrap up with our guided tours. So if you'd like to see some of this information again a little bit more privately in your own phone, click on the hamburger menu and go into guided tours. There's only one tour for the mobile app. So we click on that and then you'll see these purple boxes will start popping up where it will start explaining the different features of command. And it'll go through 12 different steps where you'll read through here, you click next and another one pops up and then they give you a little information. The home screen gives you an overview of what you need to know today. We go to next and then it goes into contacts, then it goes into tasks and the menus and most of this stuff. I probably showed you some stuff the tour is not going to get into, uh, but it's going to get through a lot of the really important functional stuff if any of this kind of leaves your memory from today's class. And so the tour's a great little refresher. You can see they're off now on mine. I turned it off just by when I exited. It turns off if you finish it. It turns off as well. It's not going to pop up every time on you, but a great way to just engage again if you need a little reminder. And then I will mention notification preferences. I mentioned them earlier, but just taking a look, there are different sections. So if I want to turn off information coming in about KW news, right? I'll go into the KW section and you can see, do I want it to push to the app? Do I want it just in the app or pushing in or out? I can make those selections in here for how I want to be notified. So that is Command Mobile in a nutshell, y'all. Today we went through a lot of stuff. We got into the dashboard and how to start navigating command at the beginning. And we looked at that name menu that had the share my contact information, share my app, my profile. All of that is in that menu that we dropped down with. We jumped into the applets talking about contacts, tasks, notifications, and opportunities. And we went into some extras about the map inside that has listings and neighborhoods. We talked about Quick and we talked about the notification preferences and guided tour. And now we have a couple minutes left. I'd love to open it up for any questions that are lingering, questions that you're just wondering, or any ahas. I would love to hear what you're going to use that you learned today or what you learned today that you can see yourself using tomorrow to help you run your business. Throw some questions out, throw some ahas out, throw some use cases out. There's got to be one, y'all.
This seems like a really powerful tool.
Thank you, Beth. Yeah, it absolutely does. And if this is your first experience with the app and you joined in today to see what it does, not so much to see what you can do with it, well, I hope that you learned something that shows you that this has a ton of power, ton of
Mhm.
value for you. And even if you don't use it every day, it's that one moment when you're on vacation and you don't have your computer and you need to get into command for that one person. That's when you're going to be happy that you showed up on this class today. So thank you all for rocking with me for the last hour, learning a little bit about command. Let me know if you're in one of my market centers. If you need some one-on-one time or want to sit down and have a little bit more personal time, schedule a one-on-one with me. 30 minutes, 60 minutes, both are available. I have some really exciting classes coming up next month that'll be on the YouTube channel as well. We're going to be doing an AI and real estate class next month, and we're going to be talking about the referrals applet on the virtual class like today. And so look forward to those. You're going to get a bunch of invitations. If you're in my market center, you'll get invited to that. If you're not in my market center, check out the videos. They're going to come up online as well soon after this one. So hit that subscribe button for me so that you're notified when the videos come out. You can stay on top of this. I love teaching command. I've been using it for over 5 years to run my business. Thank you all again for being here. If you would take a moment, scan the QR code on the screen, give me a little bit of feedback about today's class. It is all anonymous. You don't have to put your name in there. You only need to put your name in there if you are willing to give me a video testimonial, then please put your name in there because I don't know who you are otherwise. But you can leave it anonymous, be honest in there. I read every piece of feedback that is written in there in the comments section. So please help me get better at what I do so I can help y'all be more efficient, grow your businesses, and have a great time here at Keller Williams. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.